Tonight, I want to welcome you back to Black Site. We're going to talk about the impeachment of President Trump. He was impeached today because of a phone call he made to President Zelensky about foreign aid to Ukraine, which was finally delivered. But he was also charged with obstruction of justice of Congress by not working with the Congress during his impeachment investigation. But this impeachment that we're seeing right now is moved as a partisan impeachment, in which all the Democrats will vote for impeachment. And when we finally go to the trial, which is in the Senate, and many of you have to understand you need 67 votes to remove President Trump from office. The Republicans have 53. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and many others said President will not be removed from the office. Chief Justice John Roberts will serve over the trial. Many of you should look up and try and look up how the Senate is run and how an impeachment process is run. But why would the Democrats impeach President Trump knowing that he's not going to be removed from office? This whole thing seems futile. If you can't remove him, why impeach him? This is basically because of the base of the Democrat Party wants Trump impeached. They want that beside his name, no matter what. But you have to understand, when you do something like this, you must have bipartisan support to remove a president of the United States, as when Richard Nixon had to be removed and he resigned from office. Gerald Ford took over as president of the United States. Now that this is seen bipartisan by the American people, you have seen things in a political dynamic change in this country. You have seen President Trump's approval ratings go up. You have seen his head-to-head matchups in which President Trump is now leading all Democratic running mates who are running for president. Now you see state by state, the most important states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, President Trump is now leading in these states because of the Democrats' irrational move to impeach President Trump. What I really can't understand about this whole impeachment process is if you can impeach President Trump over a phone call to Zelensky that somebody in the national security apparatus didn't like, why couldn't you impeach President George W. Bush for no weapons of mass destruction, in which he got tens of thousands of American soldiers killed, many of them walking around with no limbs, many of them who have committed suicide, but he was never impeached? If this Congress wanted to do the bidding of the people, after the 2008 financial crisis, when Barack Obama took over, why wasn't any of those bankers put in jail for what they did to people in America who lost their jobs, lost their 401ks, lost everything and had to start all over? But where was Congress then? They were nowhere to be found. But we get to President Trump, who I am not a supporter of. I don't like the man. But the first day he walked in office, the Washington Post said, this is the first day in the road to impeachment. Nancy Pelosi comes out last week and says, we've been working on impeachment for 2.5 years. They first come with Russia. Then they bring out the stripper. Then they bring out Ukraine. They bring out the ammonia cause, what has to do with his business. And now we get to Ukraine because Trump actually asked the question that I would have asked. How could Joe Biden's son with Burisma make all this money He's a known crackhead. He just got a stripper pregnant, found out that it's his kid, and she taking him to court. Sleeping with his dead brother's wife. How could this man go to China and bring back millions and billions of dollars in aid to a Wall Street firm? The only way that happens is your connections to your father, who happens to be vice president. Now you tell me, how many crackheads you know can go over to Ukraine, sit on a board, and you're a known crackhead? But you know who Joe Biden is? He's the father of mass incarceration. He sat on the floor of the United States Senate and talked about poor black people like a bunch of dogs. Helped lead a bill that put hundreds of thousands, if not millions of black men in the criminal justice system. But when it came to his son as a crackhead got to go over to Ukraine and work for bereavement, got to go to China and make deals worth billions of dollars. But his son never spent a day in jail. You tell me who's wrong. See, this whole partisan fight has set back this country. And I'm going to say this. The Democrats took over Congress. What have they done? Can you name one thing they have done other than try to impeach President Trump for over a year? You can't say anything. Has they passed any bill that got to his desk that he could sign? The only thing they have basically accepted was USMC, the trade deal. And let me tell you, if you know something is wrong, that Nancy Pelosi knows something is wrong. The same day she said we're going to do the article of impeachment and we're going to impeach President Trump, the same day she comes out and supports USMC, which is Trump's signature achievement as president, other than the economy. This whole Russian traitor, bot, whatever, the same thing they use it on the foundational black movement, ADOS, Blexit, whatever, Black Voices, whatever you call it. They use on Trump, they use it on black people. But Democrats cannot say not one accomplishment other than impeaching President Trump over a phone call. And Al Green said something. He said we must impeach President Trump because he might win. Karen Bass, another member of the CBC, said we can impeach him 4 or 5 times. If he wins, we can impeach him again. So is this what the Democrat Party is about? They have no legislation, nothing to look forward to other than going to the American people and saying that we impeach President Trump. But right now, President Trump is more popular. People want him removed from office is going down sharply. All you did was give him a boost so he can be reelected. This could be one of the dumbest political moves in the history of America. And I'm not a supporter of President Trump. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, and share this video.